Hey everybody, welcome back to Advanced Training Made Simple. In this session, we're going to be looking at doing some channel work. And specifically, what I want to do is teach young dogs kind of in the transition stage to actually recognize a channel whenever they see one in a setup. And this will apply to blinds and marks, but we will start with marks. First, let me show you what you'll encounter quite a bit, especially in field trials, but that also applies to hunt test and events like the SRS also. This is something that it's very common, and in my opinion, it's one of the easiest concepts to teach that you can come across in the field trial or the hunt test world. Okay, you'll see in this picture a definite channel, and if you look to the left, you'll see a gunner that we have placed at the end of it. But first, imagine that gunner is about 100 yards away from that entry. The correct line to the mark would be right down the middle of the channel. And typically, as you see in this picture, that bird won't be right on the edge of the water. It'll be well beyond that channel. So what we want to do is be able to teach that dog to actually come to the line, look at what's in front of him, and recognize a channel. Before we get into the field, let's assume that you have a young dog that you just want to start on channel work. This is how I'd go about it. You want to put your line right up next to the channel and set your gun where it's just a nice easy throw. And if you remember back in the water basics, you start off just like this with the dog right at the water, making easy throws. Once they make that short retrieve, move your gunner back a little bit, make another throw, just let him do another repetition and go get it. And then let's do another one. We'll just push the gunner back a little bit farther. Once again, keep the dog up close to the water and let him go get it. And you might want to repeat this by moving the gunner back a little bit and doing that process 2 or 3 times. But that's the way I would start a young dog off. But let's move on. We'll actually take some puppies out into the field and get started with a lot of these channel marks. Okay, let's get out into the field. And you see in this picture we have a nice channel. And normally I would have placed the gunner at the end of the channel and run it out like you see in the picture here. But unfortunately, that position where I wanted to place the line was extremely wet. So we had to turn this thing around and actually run it in the other direction. In this view, we're looking at it from behind the line, and you can see that the dog has a swim going up the channel. The bird is thrown left to right. We want the dog going straight up the middle of the channel and straight back to us. All right, let's get to work. Right here, you'll see that we're lined up. You see the gunner in the field, and it'll just be a throw to where we want the dog going right down the center of the channel, like you see here. Now this dog coming up, this is me and Schooner. Now Schooner's had quite a bit of water work, but he has not had strictly channel work. And that's something that I wanted to do for him and Suki to get out here. So I signal, the throw is made, nice throw, a splash, makes it crystal clear. I think he got a little happy feet right there, so I made him come back and sit down, cut him loose. Now right there, he took about a half a step left, which put him looking right at that left shoreline. Now let's watch him right here and see what he does. Now right here, you know, I had the whistle in my mouth. I was ready to stop him, but I wanted to watch and see if he pushes off this shoreline. He gets up, you see he's in running water, takes a few steps, and then right back in the channel. Not a thing wrong with that. I'll let that go. In fact, that's a really good job because honestly, he hasn't seen very many and really no channel marks like the one that you're looking at right now. It makes it difficult where they have that open water swim and then have to go through the mouth of a channel and stay in that channel. And actually, he's doing it just about picture perfect right here. And I'm really wanting to show you Schooner first, just to show you what a dog should be doing on this. He really does an excellent job. And on the return, same thing, stays in the water, stays wet, comes straight back to me. Okay, everybody, this is a different dog and handler, and you'll see a completely different scenario with this one. He signals for the bird, and right here really kind of gets off behind the 8-ball. The throw is a little bit short, but the bumper, we're using white bumpers on this, it drifts out to the center of the channel. The dog gets a pretty good start right here, but right there you saw it seeking land. The dog is not really caring to stay in the water. That's a good stop by the handler. We're going to come back and take another look at that again. There's a way to cast and a way not to cast off of this. He was giving it over, the dog gets in the channel, but goes right back and seeks land on the other side. That's the correct cast, a straight up, but the dog ping-pongs back to the right side and gets, tries to get on bank again. The handler blows a whistle, straight up cast, right back to the land again. Now, see that over? That's not the cast I want to give. I want to give a straight up right there. That's on the dog to stay in the water. So right now, what you're seeing is a dog that really doesn't understand what you're asking it to do. Obviously, the handler wants that dog to stay in the water all the way to it, pick that bumper up, and you can see the white bumper out in the channel. So it gives the dog a clear target. So it's not a matter of not knowing where that bird is or the bumper is. Now, watch coming back. Starts out swimming just like it should, right down the middle of the channel, and then turns and goes straight toward the land. That's where I would have blown a whistle and given that dog a left back and sent it right back to where it picked that bumper up and made it come straight back to me. What you don't want to do is let it come down that shoreline like you see in this picture. Before we leave this dog, let's go back and take a look at the cast. Watch right here, okay, it gets on a point. And the handler does, that's your cast right there, not that. And the more that he went left, he's just telling that dog to get off the point, but that's not what we want to do in training. Okay, the dog's back on this. See that over? That's not what you want on training. You want to give that dog a straight up left cast. And if you've done all the basics up to this point and the basic water work, that dog should take that channel with a straight up left. Right here, we want a straight up right. That's the correct cast, right there. Now watch the dog, and this is on the dog. As how you treat this as a handler, you really want to make sure that you're giving the correct cast and doing it consistently. Okay, this is little Sookie right here, and she's the littermate to Schooner, like I've said a million times. Pretty good dog in the water. She should do a fairly decent job on this. I get a little bit distracted right here, and I'm late with a whistle. You'll see it here in a minute. Give the signal. Throw's good, but one thing to pay attention right here, watch where this bumper drifts back. It drifts back to the very left edge of the channel. And watch what this little booger does right here. If you drew a perfect line to the bumper, she's pretty much on it right now. But we're wanting to teach these puppies at this stage to recognize these channels and get in the middle of it. And something I hadn't really said prior to this, this is an extremely narrow channel. Okay, right here, if you see me, I'm a little bit distracted. I'm not watching her. I should have hit a whistle right there. I finally do hit the whistle, and watch the cast. And she's right back in, stays in it. Even though the bumper is to her left, she's staying in the water and swimming down this channel. So right there, that's pretty good recognition that she knows what she should be doing. Now watch where she picks it up. Picks it up, and which way does she turn? Right back to the water. So she really does a good job of this. We're not going to watch her swim all the way back, but she stays right dead center of the channel, comes all the way back to me. Okay, let's do one more dog. I believe this is a rerun of the dog that kind of ping-ponged the channel a little bit earlier. Let's see how he does this time. Honestly, guys, if it were mine and I were training and handling this dog, I would go back to square one on water basics. I'm not saying you can't get there by not doing that, but I know it would be much, much easier if you went back through that program. And he gets back on the point again, late on the whistle. Pretty good cast right there, straight up, goes back down again. Now, I would have stopped and brought that dog back up this point and given that cast again. Ping pongs across, straight up right, that's the correct cast. And the dog does a much better job this time around. But I'm still seeing some things that are fundamentally missing. And I believe I'd try to go back and correct that. I do know that this is a fairly young dog right now. I believe it's either 2 years old or a little bit younger than that. But this is a much better job getting there. But watch this. Comes back, toes wet all the way down. Do not allow that, because you pretty much just erased all of the good work you did when the dog was going out to pick the bumper up. You let it run at shore all the way back, and you told that dog that was acceptable. It crosses a channel, same thing again coming back. So everything you did good going into this, you pretty much erased it by letting that dog return on the shoreline. Okay, folks, let's wrap this up. We're going to come back with another video, and I'm going to show you some channel blinds. We do it on the same property, but not on this channel. And you'll see a little bit different result.